What's good, YouTube? It's Ball 2 in the building, back with another banger. And today when we reacting to the internet isn't buying Kai Cenat's new gimmick. Now they really not buying this shit. That's crazy. Like, you would think people would support this shit. You know what I'm saying? A dude that's trying to improve his life, you know, go down the right path. But I guess not. You feel me? So with that being said, let's get straight to the video. Let's do it.
There's a word that's been circulating around the internet that is honestly grinding the hell out of my gears every time I see it. Performative.
I hate people who have a performative personality.
It's getting really hard to say that Kai Cenat isn't performative.
It feels performative.
If you a performative baddie,
and he's so performative, this
performative.
Okay, they're just overusing
Every
the
time
word,
I hear that word, it makes me want to rip out my hair. Because at some point, you guys are being performative about the word performative. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way for us unemployed, and it warms my heart very much so. Now, back into the video. Now, the wave of everything performative started off with the performative male epidemic, which I'll get into a little bit later into the video. I didn't mind people criticizing that stuff, but now we have reached its peak. Just last week, I believe Kai Cenat revealed that he was on this journey to a new self, new content creation, and he's going down these new endeavors that don't align with his normal streaming and content creation path. He's going into fashion, he's working out, he's reading aloud daily, amongst other things. And you would think that this self-improvement would be received well, but for doing all these things, Kai Cenat is getting booed to smithereens.
There's no way y'all about to hop on this app and try to make people feel bad because we making fun of Kai Cenat because he can't read. The nigga is 24 years old and he don't know how to fucking read. He was admitted to a university. He went to college and dropped out. And the nigga don't know how to fucking read, dog. That's hilarious.
That it's really not hilarious though. Like, what the fuck? How we like, what the fuck? How is that hilarious? How would that be funny? So for the adults and stuff in other countries that don't know how to read and shit like that, like, is that funny too? Like, I'm trying to figure that out. Some people didn't have a great upbringing, bro. This is what I'm not understanding from people that be saying this is performative or he can't read and they're laughing at the dude. You feel me? Like, it's like, all right, I can sit here and laugh and shit, but at the end of the day, this nigga, I can see he's trying. That's good that he's improving though. You know what I'm saying? I might hit a little, you feel me, like laugh a little bit, and then yeah, he's still trying though. I applaud that. I can respect that. But for you to just say this is funny, like, and probably dude doesn't read as good as he's saying Kai Cenat isn't reading. Like, motherfuckers, some of these motherfuckers that's talking, they can't even read a book right. Sounding like you probably got a 2nd grade reading level and shit.
Yes. Y'all are not about to make niggas feel bad for this shit. He's the one who set up the camera. We're not in Kai's business. That nigga showing us all his business. If he was really working on bettering himself, he would do that shit off cam.
That's crazy.
But he want clicks and views. He wants y'all to see him looking like a fucking idiot on the internet. He talking about some, oh, I don't care what people think about me. Bro, you being performative as fuck right now.
You was not in them girl streets, man. What clothes did for you, bruh? Nah, bro, I gotta say something, because clothes really done did some shit for me, nigga. Clothes really done did some shit for me, bruh. What clothes done did for you, bro? What? Clothes ain't...
I'm not gonna lie. Nah, Kai Cenat is low-key like starting to look like Bruce a little bit from this. He got the goatee joint combo, the head shit going on. They looking like each other. They may not like each other, but they looking like brothers right now. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Yo, because sometimes it was between the $36 DoorDash meal or the number 9 Mickey. You feel me?
I don't know.
I didn't eat, nigga. I ain't eat for some of these pieces I got in my house, nigga. I ain't eat.
I want to start off by first defining what the word performative means. Done or expressed insecurely or inauthentically, typically with the intention of impressing others or improving one's own image. And this is the biggest problem that I have with the criticism of everybody labeling anything and everything performative. Specifically from a social media personality, when do you believe that something is genuine or not genuine? It's always done for the camera. It's always done in the eye of the public. It's always done for the audience to judge and criticize. We've seen Kai Cenat basically put his life on the internet for the past umpteen years now. So why is it surprising now that if he's going through a new endeavor or new journey that he wouldn't document it, he wouldn't film it, and he wouldn't post it for everybody to see? I had to listen to some of the gripes and grievances of people saying that what Kai Cenat is doing is performative, and some of it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Kai Cenat's personality and image will always come off as performative because he's pretending to be black. He has made it clear on his stream multiple times that Trinidadian and Haitian, he does not consider himself to be black. Matter of fact, I have never let my foot off of Kai's neck from when he said black people had no culture. But it's funny because he didn't build his platform wearing Trinidadian and Haitian clothing. He dresses like the...
Bro, there is no Trinidadian and Haitian clothing. There's none of that. That's not a thing. This is what I don't understand. There is no certain clothing that Trinidadians and Haitians be wearing for real. Like, you have cultural clothes that you would wear for certain events, but this isn't everyday wear. We wear the same shit you wear. We probably wear some jeans, or you'll catch us wearing some Nikes, or you'll catch us wearing some a fitted cap, or a hat, or something. It's not always you see somebody wearing, like, everybody thinks that Haitians and Trinidadians and everybody else is just wearing a fucking straw hat on some in a button-down shirt with some. That's not the case. We wear regular clothes too. We wear regular clothing too. It's not just that. And on top of that, being black is not just a American thing. I am literally black. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally a black man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I may not, you feel me? My culture might be a little bit different because I am Haitian, but it's still, at the end of the day, I am a black person. Whether I don't sit here and take it or not. Hold on. And I am back. You feel me? I had to handle some business. But y'all get the gist of what I was saying, man. Y'all get the gist of it.
Niggas he has around. But mind you, he barely speaks either of the languages he comes from because he was born in New York. So even when he's up there struggling to speak Creole, that's a performance. Instead of using these parts of himself to create a personality, he instead wants to push an image of the coolest nigga ever. Which is why, even though he's never been an anime nigga, he tries to pretend that he is so bad. He spends so much time trying to be like his friends that, to be honest, I don't think there's nobody in there, y'all. That's really him. Accept him as he is.
So y'all know I gotta say my piece on this Kai Cenat thing. So Kai Cenat is getting into fashion, and you know he went on this hiatus, and he's coming back saying like, oh yeah, he wants to get into fashion, da 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 da. And the fashion community online ain't buying it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't getting behind it. And before you get in my comments and say, oh, why does it matter? Who cares? Da 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 da. I care. There's a lot of other people out there that do care about fashion, truly. And the thing is, we understand that there was a time when everybody didn't care about clothes. There was a time when it wasn't cool to care about clothes.
I don't know what the fuck niggas talk, bro. I'm about to, what is niggas talking about though? I'm genuinely confused on what niggas is talking about. What do you mean nobody was into fashion? I'm thinking, like, when I was younger, folks used to get flamed for not having, like, you don't got a pair of Jordans. Yeah, we were still wearing a uniform joint, but I'm not on cap. In school, the shoes was basically the whole fit. If you are not wearing a pair of Jordans, I'm talking about Jordan 4s or the KD6s back then. You're not wearing some shit like that, KD7s or whatever, right? With your khaki pants and your collared shirt, you are getting flamed. What the fuck are those on your feet, my boy? You know what I'm saying? What are those? Why are you wearing those in school? You're a target. Now you talking about people don't care about fashion, people don't care about clothes. I think people been cared about clothes, bro. Like, I think the new age fashion motherfuckers just putting a lot of shit together. Like, they're just putting a whole lot of nonsense. And they'll say that's fashion, that's cool. Going to the thrift store, grabbing a whole bunch of nonsense. Grabbing some some what's them shits called, rain boots, and wearing rain boots and saying that's fashion. That's not fashion, bro. That shit's horrendous. That shit's horrible. I be trying to look at fashion as like some type of, you know what I'm saying, like putting a whole bunch of nonsense together and say it's art. This shit's ugly. That's what's wrong with some of y'all fashion niggas.
And that's going on right now. So it's like, yeah, of course, people can find the love for fashion, the passion for fashion, etc. But it's harder for us to accept because we know that that's what's popping right now. That's what's trending right now. That's why there's certain people, for me, for example, I'm one of them type people. I always say, let me see your throwbacks. Let me see your throwbacks. You wanna know why? Because if you grew up caring about fashion, it was never about $1. You gonna make it work.
All these criticisms about Kai Cenat scream gatekeeping to me, and I can understand the concept of gatekeeping, but then it opens up the door for me and others to ask, like, who are these gatekeepers? Who are these people who are judging him? And who are these people that are judging the performative males? Can someone always come along and say that something that somebody else is doing is performative if they hold a Throwback Thursday picture that dates earlier than the previous person in question? Is there some sort of test that needs to be taken, or is there some sort of criteria that needs to be met in order to not be considered performative? I don't know. It just seems like we're making up rules every single day about what is and what is not performative. The person that was talking about Kai Cenat being into fashion, look, I have no doubt about your fashion identity and stuff like that. I promise you, I'm not here to G-check you on who you are in the fashion space and how much you care about fashion. But if somebody in the fashion space came to you and said that you're not really into fashion simply due to the fact that you only mess with this type of designer, you don't extend yourself to this aisle, you don't venture into dresses and purses, you only care about male fashion, not about women fashion, and then you only care about fashion in one facet of culture, identity, race, etc., etc. You're not into Eastern fashion. You're not into, I don't know, the fashion identities in Europe and stuff like that. Would that be a fair criticism? Could they then be able to call you performative? For the lady that was saying that Kai Cenat is an amalgamation of his peers, I'm sorry. I didn't think that that was a crazy concept. Most people are in an amalgamation of their surroundings. Most people get the surrounding bodies, entities, cool things, hot trends, etc., in order to make up their own personality. But now that's being classified as performative. Now, I get it if you have some sort of like thought process about him before seeing this new version of him, then I get why you would be so judgmental. Now, are you off basing your judgments? That's only for you to really decide. But to say that somebody is performative based off of them being a combination of like their peers and people and things that they grew up around just does not make sense to me. So you tell
facts. This is like, and again, like y'all can see around my room, you feel me? Even though my son fell down, I need to get another thumbtack to fix that up. But y'all can tell by the look of my room, I am a huge anime type of, you know, I like One Piece especially, but I watch anime. You can tell by the look of my room that I do this, right? Even my mouse pad is a Demon Slayer mouse pad. So I am a real, you know, anime fanatic. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is that I would think back on the days when, all right, it was so lame to watch anime. I would think back on those days, like, people did not like anime back then the way that they do now. But the fact that people are coming into the, you know what I'm saying? They're coming into the anime realm. People love anime now. It's cool. It's cool to love anime. I find it fascinating. It's cool. Now I have more people I can talk to this shit. I could talk to this shit about. I could talk about anime with more people now. You know what I'm saying? Even girls are watching anime. You had girls that watched anime back then, but like from the new, I'm talking about wave of girls and women coming into the anime community and shit like that. You feel me? Now I could talk to the girls about anime too. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I mess with it. I mess with it. So I don't see why people get mad. Oh yeah, fashion is the new wave. Da, 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 da. But what's crazy is motherfuckers from the anime community could still, all right, boom, we could do the same thing y'all doing and be addicted and say, oh yeah, you know what? We're not gonna accept you guys to come in the community by the way you guys be taking anime shit and making it into fashion pieces as well. Anime was so lame back then. Why wasn't you rocking this back then? We could do the same shit, kind of. You're taking shit from something that was lame in the past and you're implementing it into fashion and saying, oh yeah, this is cool. Because I can say that's performative. Back then it was lame.
You discovered everything that you like about yourself and your life.
Damn,
and
I made this video
like
longer than
on your own. You had no outside influences. It wasn't things that your peers were doing, listening to, watching, recommending, etc., etc. Hey, you're the first original person in the world, gang.
Bro, this whole Kai Cenat thing is confusing me because, like, where were you in 2017? Like, he's having his 13, 14-year-old phase in 2026. Like, did you not have a preteen phase? Like, did you, like, you're listening to Frank Ocean, Blonde. He's like, bro, where were you during summer of 2016 if you wasn't listening to Blonde? And he's just now watching Naruto and, like, he's just trying to figure out how to read. Like,
one of the reasons why I have an issue with the conversation about being performative is the fact that it almost makes it seem as though you can't experience something new. Well, I guess at least experience it new and document it. It makes it seem as though the stuff that you discovered when you were 10, 11, 12, 13 can never be discovered again when you're 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, late 20s, early 30s, late 40s. Like, you can never discover anything.
I've been here
you
for
must
a long
always
time.
stay in a
I
lane
just haven't
or
experienced
path.
this.
I think that's the criticism that the young man was giving when he said that Kai Cenat didn't have his teenage phase. And I'm going to go ahead and say that's a sad existence to live in. If you feel as though you have to stay stagnant in your life and you can't ever express or explore anything, then I think that that is just not the best way to go. I think that's why the performative male epidemic popped off a couple of months ago. We saw men try different things that have never been done before, and ultimately it was seen as a negative in the space.
We are in a performative male epidemic. Look, I thought I was an expert on being a performative male. I had the Claro on repeat, the International Women's Day post. Happy International Women's Day, by the way. But no, you motherfuckers took it to a completely different level. There is no fucking way you guys are actually doing this shit. I refuse to believe your favorite drink is an iced strawberry matcha latte. Like, what the fuck? No, you're in a matcha store posting for the hoes listening to Billy Joel, bro. Like, you are capping. You are not being serious.
And that just feels silly to me. We challenge people to change on a daily basis.
That's crazy.
We challenge them to try and experience
the mocha
new
trend
things, new worlds, new cultures. Hell, we want
big.
people to grow because we think even some of the things that they participate in are toxic. So we go through this whole spiel about toxic masculinity and how it can be detrimental to a bunch of different people. And when a select group of men decide to open their eyes to these different things, experience new ventures in life, step outside of, you know, the boxes or whatever the case may be, it gets flipped on top of his head and they're called performative. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe that some people put on things for, you know, social clout. They want the tokens. They want to elevate their status. But most of the times in my experience, when I would quote unquote deem somebody as being performative, it usually follows after them having some sort of negative PR and they're trying to clean up their image. I'm thinking about Neon when he did his Breakfast Club interview and then reverted back to his ways by hanging out with like Aiden Ross and the rest of the collective. I'm thinking about Sneeko, who went down this whole Christianity Muslim arc that he went down, you know, this whole religious pathway, only to find himself right back next to the Myrons and the Andrew Tates of the world. Those are the type of people that I would say are performative. I usually use the word grifter, to be quite honest with you. But the way that we are just using this word makes everything feel performative. Anytime you want to try something new, it feels performative.
I don't really like clothes that much these days anyway. I don't like to dress up. I don't like to wear makeup. I don't like to do my hair. Nothing is fun. Everything feels fake and performative. I don't really gaff. Only interest these days is eating food.
Like, I knew we were cooked as a society with this performative shit when I saw a picture scrolling down the timeline the other day of Meghan Trainor, singer-songwriter, doing a skin-to-skin with her surrogate baby. Now, even though this is none of our business, she decided to do surrogacy with her husband because she conferred with her doctor and they said it was the safest option in order for them to have another child. So then after the baby was born, she posted a photo of them going skin to skin, in which somebody quote tweeted that this feels performative. What? We're using words we've never used before, and even the use of those words feels so performative.
Guys, it's not performative if you're actually doing it. You know, like if you're only reading your feminist literature in public in front of women, yeah, that's performative. But if you like also read it at home and you really internalize the message and try to become a better feminist every day, and then you also go to a coffee shop sometimes and that happens to be the book you're working on, that's not performative. This just reading.
The word is starting to become lazy. Like people saying that something is ass or that's bad or, you know, it's just terrible. Not very descriptive as to what exactly the gripe is, but just a way to express something without really expressing anything. It almost feels regressive, like they want you to stay in the mold that you are. But I'm sorry, folks, people are changing, and that shouldn't upset you.
Everybody's saying Kai Cenat is performative, but I feel like changing yourself feels performative at first. Like, every time I try to do something new to better myself, the first time I do it, I'm like, girl, you do not do this. Like, I literally feel like a fraud. I just feel like you just keep doing it until that's what you do. When people put you in a box for long enough, you start putting yourself in a box. And what it looks like Kai is doing is just putting himself into another box.
One thing about it, the people who are always so dead set on calling other people performative are the ones who aren't doing anything. Y'all aren't doing shit, actually. So what? An artist is being performative in their activism. If someone's performative activism can incite change into other people who are really about this shit, what's actually the problem? And am I defending people who are being performative for the simple fact that they want attention? I'm not necessarily defending them, but I have this issue with people who always want to hyper focus on someone's perceived performance when their performance is very fucking low.
The funniest thing about this whole not wanting people to change, stick in their ways, otherwise it'd be called performative thing is, we know how the internet works. We know that the internet will turn on somebody at the drop of a hat. Yep. I'm seeing content creator D'Adrian Harding get hit with a lot of pushback on the way that he's continued his prank style content over the years, especially as he goes into his mid to late 20s.
I'm starting to understand why D'Adrian Harding's whole fan base switched up on him. Because why is bro all of a sudden kind of corny now? Looking back on his old videos, why was a grown man jumping on top of coolers and going up to old random people calling him AP?
Okay.
Like, I just saw a video of him in the airport.
It's not good, but damn.
Dancing. Nobody in the comments was laughing. Everybody was just telling him to put a shirt on.
Like one thing I don't understand is, all right, like as time goes on, right, you age, but that doesn't mean, you feel me, you're not gonna have fun as an adult. Certain things is that like you don't just stop having fun or doing random shit as you get older. Now you have some old heads that do believe it and stay this way, whatever. Their lives are miserable. I'm gonna be honest. Some of their lives are miserable. I'm not gonna lie. Not all of them, but some of their lives are miserable. And like chill, relax. It's not supposed to be taken that serious. At the end of the day, I've worked at Sam's Club, and I've realized as I got, like, you feel me, as I'm working at Sam's Club, I realized, I was like, bro, like, grown-ups are really just, like, I'm talking about grown-ass babies. Well, what the shit they be doing? Taking plates, putting it in the pharmacy aisle. Taking shit, putting it where it's not supposed to be. Acting stupid for certain shit. Where's the ketchup? Nigga, the ketchup is on, look above. It says it right there on the aisles where all the numbers are listed. You're just not reading. You feel me? They're just grown ass kids. That's all it is. Just kids with more responsibilities. That try to put on the front that they're grown, so people, you know what I'm saying,
this fall off is actually
respect them and shit.
But it's kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't type situation. If you do change, you'll get hit with these performative claims.
Bro, I'm yapping,
nobody cares about what you're doing. You're not genuine. You're not authentic. But if you don't change, you'll be hit with this regressive state for the rest of your life. Could you imagine if Kai Cenat was the same age as Duke Dennis and still doing the same things.
It's over.
I can imagine it. Why? Because people give Duke Dennis that same sort of flack. They criticize him for hanging around the younger kids and doing some of the younger kids' things, which is one of the reasons why I think that he kind of stepped away from the internet like he did in 2025. But nonetheless, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. I'm not even here to really criticize others for not changing, growing, or whatever the case may be. That's not my ministry. That's not my bag. But what I do know is that a lot of people have internalized fears about trying stuff new for this exact reason right here. Because people will call you performative. And ultimately, that cuts them off from the joys in life.
Yep.
It restricts them. It makes them be who everybody else wants them to be.
Yep.
And I don't know if that is living or if that is performing in and of itself.
Man, look, man. I'ma say this. Bro. I don't think this shit is like Kai Cenat. Once he succeeds in what he's doing, motherfuckers is gonna flock and shit like that, and it's gonna be a big, you know what I'm saying, a big change. People are now gonna mess with him in the shit that he does. It's just like, bro, as people get older, shit do not, you feel me? You still want to have fun, but it's like the way we're pushing it is that adults are not supposed to have fun, but kids can have all the fun. If you're young, you can have all the fun, all that shit. But that's not the case. I don't think so. Like you're still gonna have fun. You could do what you want as you get older, bro. You could do with whatever the fuck you want. Take that with a grain of salt though. Not whatever you want. Anything that's illegal. But anyways, that's the end of the video. If y'all like the video, like, comment, subscribe, hit that post notification button if y'all want to stay updated on the next video. Let me know in the comment section down below what y'all think, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.